Hello students, how are you all? I hope that you all will be fine. Myself Jiten Singh Jeetu sir, your English teacher. Today in this video we are going to discuss the explanation of the chapter. We are not afraid if we are all together, and it is the fourth part of this chapter. So today we will start the explain from while. While I was thinking, Sue, moving painfully, joined me. The left side of her head was now very sullen, and her blackened eyes narrowed to slits. She gave me a card she had made. It means when the weather changed and they felt some relief from the moving fast wind and the strong waves. At that time, Sue, his daughter, came to the writer and she gave her a handmade card. Her condition was not good. Her head's one part of her head was swollen and eyes were blackened. Okay guys. Next, on the front she had drawn caricatures of Mary and me with the words, "Here are some funny people. Did they? You laugh?" I laughed a lot as well. Inside was a message. "Oh, how I love you both." So this card is to say thank you and let's hope for the best. Somehow we had to make it. It means her daughter Sue handed the writer a card that was made by herself, and the card had two cartoons, or we can say two pictures. One was of Mary and other was the writer, and there was a note under these pictures, and the note had the words, "Here are some funny people." It means with the help of these words she wanted to explain her feelings, that how much she loved to her parents. Next guys, I checked and rechecked my calculations. We had lost our main compass and I was using a spare which had not been corrected for magnetic variation. It means here the writer is telling us that he was checking again and again the calculation, that how much they are far from the land. They have lost their main compass, but now he is using the extra, or we can say the spare compass. It was not working well because its magnetic variation was not working. I made an allowance for this and another estimate of the influence of the westerly currents which flow through this part of the Indian Ocean. From Indian Ocean we come to know that they were passing through Indian Ocean. About 2 p.m. I went on deck and asked Larry to steer a course of 185 degrees. It means approx 2 p.m. the writer reached on the deck of the ship and he asked Larry to steer the course of 185 degrees. If we were lucky, I told him with a conviction, I did not feel he could expect to see the island at about 5 p.m. And he wished that if they are lucky, after 5 before p.m. 5 p.m. they would easily reach to some island. Then with a heavy heart I went below, climbed on my bunk, and amazingly dozed off. When I woke it was 6 p.m. and growing dark. It means the writer was not happy, he was very sad because their death was coming nearer and nearer. But somehow he managed to sleep, and when he got up, it was the time of 6 p.m. It was growing dark. Okay, guys, I knew we must have missed the island, and with the sail we had left, we couldn't hope to bend back into the waterly winds. When it was 6 p.m., it means they had traveled 1 hour extra. So the writer hoped that they had missed the island and it was not possible to go back in the waterly winds. Okay. At that moment, a tousled head appeared by my bunk. Can I have a hug? Jonathan asked. She was right behind. It means approx at 6 p.m. Jonathan and Sue came to me, and Jonathan asked, or we can say wished, to hug me, to hug the writer. And his daughter, Sue, was behind her brother Jonathan. Why I'm why am I getting a hug now? I asked. Then the writer asked, why do you want to hug me? Because you are the best daddy in the whole world, and the best captain, my son replied. No, today, John, I am afraid. Why you must be? Said Sue in a matter of fact voice. You found the island. What? I shouted. It's out there in front of us. They chorused. As big as a battleship. It means his daughter and his son Jonathan wanted to hug the writer because they had reached to an island, so they were very happy. That's why they wanted to hug their father. I rushed on deck and gazed with relief at the stark outline of Isle Amsterdam. It was only a bleak piece of volcanic rock with little vegetation. The most beautiful island in the world. At that time, this island was looking to me very beautiful island because it was keeping some hope of life in our mind.